Wellington. What's going on, guys? John here, checking in for the United View, the match report of the game. Manchester United versus Chelsea at Old Trafford, and the game has ended 2-1 to United. Let's go. A brace from Scott McTominay. Was it just me towards the end of that second half when Scott McTominay took that left-footed shot? I swear, I was like, oh my God. He's gonna take a hat trick here. Oh my days. It was incredible from every single Manchester United player today. There's so much to break down, so much to dissect. Let's get straight into it. Talking about things before kickoff though. Reports surfaced early predictions for the starting 11 and reports suggested that Marcus Rashford will be dropped. And while the reaction seemed to have been relatively approving of the idea to drop Marcus Rashford, that was still going to be a big test for somebody like Alejandro Garnacho, who, albeit is a bright player with a bright future, still has lots to prove. And going against a top side like Chelsea, I know they're mid this season, but still, Chelsea is still a tough side. And with all this reports about Raheem Sterling never having scored against Man United for all the clubs that he's played at Old Trafford or whatever, you know, it was perfectly scripted for Man United to potentially allow Chelsea to really sort of get these ridiculous 3 points. But nonetheless, Alejandro Garnacho started, and he played so well today. Honestly, he might not have gotten a goal, and maybe he might have skewed a couple of opportunities. And let's be fair, not just against Alejandro Garnacho, the entire squad could have been a lot more clinical. I think we had like, plus 20 shots or something along those lines, and like only less than 10 were on target. Like, we definitely could be much more clinical. But apart from the clinical aspect of things, overall, Alejandro Garnacho's game was effective. He was efficient. He was getting robust, running down the wing, contributing defensively, being available offensively, providing the cross. The only one thing, if I could just be a little bit nitpicky, is I need Alejandro Garnacho to check his left when he's driving down that 18-yard box. Luke Shaw is there running for his life, providing 20,000 overlapping runs. Broski, just use the runner. Leave it to him. Because then Luke Shaw can make that run, inside swing cross, hit Rasmus, you know what I'm saying? But let me not be nitpicky here. Alejandro Garnacho did phenomenal today. Great job. Let's go back, taking things up one at a time, though, because today, the first half, starting off the rip, Manchester United dominated the performance with the likes of Diogo Dalot just getting completely stuck in. What a phenomenal performance from Diogo Dalot. For me, there could have been like 5 or 6 man of the matches. Diogo had a phenomenal game. Harry had a game. Amrabat had a great game. Scott McTominay got stuck in. So many players did well, but Diogo Dalot in that opening 15, 20 minutes, absolutely incredible. Defensively, he was sound. Offensively, he was getting techie, driving past players, whipping in crosses, getting involved. Lots of activity and efficient activity from Diogo Dalot. I don't know what happened with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. If somebody knows, get in the comments and let us know, but if Diogo plays like that, he might have to keep that starting 11 position away from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and that's going to be a healthy competition from 2 great right backs. Defensively, I thought our back four was phenomenal. Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, and Luke Shaw as well. All of them, including Diogo. Luke Shaw, oh my days. Since he's returned from injury, slotting right back in, you can clearly tell how much Erik ten Hag has missed him. You can clearly tell how much Manchester United have missed him. He is so solid, so calm and composed on the ball, off the ball. I thought it was a bit unfair for him to get booked so early, but apart from that, he was so phenomenal. And I can't believe what I'm saying, but Harry Maguire is absolutely insane right now for Manchester United. And I have to believe it. And a lot of Manchester United fans like myself, if Harry Maguire continues to play like this and keeps Rafael Varane out of the starting 11, towards the end of the season, we might all have to put our hands up and say the magic words, my bad, because he's having a freaking incredible season so far. Amazing. Absolute masterclass of a defensive shift today. He read the Chelsea passes so well. Albeit, I thought those passes, especially coming from the likes of Caicedo and Enzo, were pretty bland. But nonetheless, Harry Maguire stepping forward, tucking in, chopping those interceptions. Well done from Harry Maguire. Some people were like Victor Lindelof was not so good, but I thought he had a good game. That goal from Cole Palmer, though, it was a really good goal. It was going to be tough for Andre Onana to even get to, and for Victor Lindelof, who closed down the near post, for Cole to place that in between Victor Lindelof's legs to pinpoint it perfectly. No power, all accuracy. To be fair to Cole Palmer, that was a great shot. It was going to be very tough to stop that. But going back to Manchester United, apart from Cole Palmer's goal, I thought Man United were going to just go flying when Bruno Fernandes won that penalty. I'm not a big fan of all the skipping and hopping, but nonetheless, Bruno Fernandes, he has a good record when it comes to pens. So this is just one of those bad days at the office type of thing. But it was good. It was good for Manchester United. I'm all excited right now. I got to bring it down a little bit. Let me control this video. Let me control my tempo. But Yeah, the back four, phenomenal. Bruno Fernandes missing the pen, whatever, but Scott McTominay making sure he was there at the box. Was it Harry Maguire, who was also in the 18-yard box as well, hitting that shot, forcing the ricochet to land in front of Scott McTominay, who smashes it with his weak left foot? Great work. Absolute phenomenal. Harry Maguire talked about so much. He won the Premier League Player of the Year. Player of the Year, sorry. Player of the Month. So deserved. So well deserved. His story alongside Scott McTominay, honestly, it could be the works of an inspirational comeback. I'm not going to go, over the top and say that they've already come back complete. I'm not doing that. But they are truly well in the works of getting to that. You just want to keep seeing this consistency and this consistent run of form from the likes of Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. We sorted out the back four. Let's talk about the midfield. I was a bit concerned. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was a bit concerned with the robust energy of the likes of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Amrabat, who's still a little bit nervy on the ball. Scott McTominay, whose positional discipline can be a bit susceptible at times. And Bruno Fernandes just worrying about going forward and whatnot. I thought maybe if we're having a bad day at the offensive midfield, we might get overrun. But thankfully for us at least, both teams' midfielders were all over the place. And I guess it looked a little bit better from our perspective because we got the goals, but it worked out. Scott McTominay, important involvement, like I just mentioned, but Sofyan Amrabat, that first half, he was having similar to Antony, he was having a 0 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 at the same time. Simple passes they were misplacing, but the tough tackles, getting involved, off the ball movement. The harder things they were doing well, but the simple things they were getting wrong. It was a frustratingly great game from the both of them. But for Sofyan Amrabat, especially in that second half, my goodness, he had an absolute worldie of a game. That second half game from Sofyan Amrabat should really serve to help him build that confidence, because I think what Sofyan's lacking right now is a little bit of that confidence. Yeah, sure, he might look a little bit susceptible physically in terms of adapting to the Premier League, but Sofyan Amrabat, I thought, had a great, absolutely incredible, perfect, near perfect second half, and I'm glad to see Sofyan doing that. The more players the more players come in and start really, showing up, the better it is for the competition of the squad and, of course, the overall health, right? But Bruno Fernandes, again, what can I say? Absolutely magician, just getting stuck in, being robust. Again, one thing I want to talk about is the system press. For the first time, I thought Manchester United, offensively, we created lots of chances, like I said before, but defensively, I think this was one of the best defensive performances yet. The system press for Manchester United was so good. Our system press was incredible. Where has this been? With some of the players returning, now we're looking good like this. This is so good. This is the kind of teamwork that we want to see. This is the kind of unity, the cohesiveness that Newcastle showed us. We showed Chelsea, and I loved seeing that from Manchester United today. Anthony, like I spoken about earlier, that first half was like a 0 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 at the same time. Don't get me wrong, he had an overall good game. But like I said, the hard things he was doing well, the simple things he was absolutely botching. The simple 15-yard passes, he was misplacing it. Same for Sofyan in that first half, but simple 15-yard passes in front, he's just placing it right at the feet of Chelsea players. I don't know what Antony was doing in those circumstances, but overall, he had a great game, and I was loving Antony's involvement because you just want to see that. Again, if there's constructive criticism to be given to Antony, because that's what he was looking for, we just want to see him improve a little bit with respect to his left foot and using his right foot a little bit more. If he's going to Trivela with his left foot, if he's going to want to constantly whip with his left foot, we want to see Arjen Robben levels of that. You know what I mean? I don't mind him opting for the left foot because the opportunities are going to be far and few in between because your opposition knows you're going to use for your left foot all the time. But if that's going to be the case, I need to see a bit more efficiency. He took a shot with his left foot in that first half, and he shot it straight at the keeper. You know what I mean? You want to see a little bit more if that's what he's going to opt for. But overall, he had a good game. Some of the comments on my live stream were saying, why is Rasmus not scoring? Like I said before, it's a little bit of everything. Antony not being able to service him well at times. Diogo Dalot not really being able to pick him out often. On the left-hand side, in particular, Alejandro Garnacho, he likes to cut in and try to pick the far post. He got an assist for Scott McTominay in that second goal, but that's why I was saying earlier on in the video that I'd love to see him maybe use Luke Shaw a little bit more on the overlap, because Luke Shaw's whip with that left foot can definitely pick out Rasmus. There were opportunities where we could have picked out Rasmus, and he maybe, had he been half a yard closer, could have slapped that ball in the back of the net. But Rasmus is doing everything else so well, and you can't really knock it on him. He's doing so well. The goals will come, Rasmus. I promise you. I promise you. Overall, Manchester United's game was so good, and I couldn't be any more happier with this, because this is potentially the building blocks of what could be coming. Honestly, I must have said that 1,000 times this season, but the performance today, systematically, we looked so good. The fundamentals looked locked in for the majority of the players. That's what we want. With the players returning from injury one by one, surely we can salvage this season. We're 3 points behind Man City now. We can really do something. You know, I'm not saying we're going to win the Premier League. No way. But we can build up on this one game at a time. Let's take it one game at a time. Build up on that fundamental. My man of the match, it's going to be a hard one. I think I'm going to have to give it, how do I not give it to Scott McTominay? 2 goals, honestly. You have to give it to Scott. Well done, Scott. Well done, Harry, Diogo, Luke, Shaw, Amrabat, Garnacho, everybody. Great game. Let's keep building. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys made it to this 11 minutes of me completely waffling, and if you guys are not subscribed yet, go subscribe to the United View. And if you guys are interested in hearing more of what I have to say, come check me out on my channel at Good Vibes John. The links are in the description below. That's it for me. My voice is gone. I'm going to have a good night. That's it, ladies. Take care.